You can hear in the whispers around league offices, in the cryptic tweets, the panicked sideline glances, and the sudden tight-lipped press conferences. Something big is brewing in the NFL, and it's not just your average quarterback controversy. No, this one has Jerry Jones written all over it, and that means drama, power moves, and absolutely zero chill. Because if the rumors are true, and let's be honest, when it's Jerry, there's always a kernel of truth, then we're on the brink of one of the most unhinged quarterback trades in recent memory.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
That's right. The Dallas Cowboys billionaire ringmaster is reportedly gunning for Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that's Shedeur, rookie sensation, face of a new generation, son of Dion, marketable as hell, and, oh yeah, currently signed with the Cleveland Browns. So, what? Let's break it down. Because this isn't just about football anymore. It's about legacy, control, brand warfare, and Jerry Jones pulling strings like a Bond villain in a 10-gallon hat. Word on the street is that Jones has had enough of Dak Prescott's almost era, enough of the inconsistency, enough of the playoff meltdowns, enough of being the most talked about team in the league without anything to actually show for it. Jerry wants fireworks. Now, he wants a face of the franchise, a golden ticket, a quarterback who can win games and launch merch, a brand. Enter Shedeur. From the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field for Cleveland, it was clear he wasn't playing the same game as everyone else. The precision, the poise, the media presence. He looked like a quarterback and a CEO rolled into one. And the fact that his last name is Sanders? That's not just narrative gold. That's currency. And Jerry? Jerry is a collector of currency, according to league insiders. And you know there are always anonymous sources familiar with the matter or some vague nonsense. Jerry has been orchestrating a quiet little side operation. You won't find it in any press releases. There are no official trade talks. But whispers suggest he's opened a back channel to Shedeur's camp. It's all very cloak and dagger, just the way Jerry likes it. And here's the part that's got league execs sweating into their suits. The proposed trade package is said to be massive. We're talking multiple first-rounders, veteran names, possibly even a key defensive asset. Because to pry Shedeur out of Cleveland, Jerry knows he'll need more than just charm. But let's be honest, this wouldn't even be on the table if the Browns had their house in order. Behind the scenes, Cleveland is a mess. Coaching staff? Divided. Ownership? Anxious. Stefanski? Reportedly losing it behind closed doors. And it's all because they're caught between two completely different agendas. One camp wants to develop Shedeur slowly, build him up, protect him, traditional football stuff. The other camp? Oh, they see dollar signs. They want to turn Shedeur into a walking billboard. Start him now. Get him on more commercials. Push the brand. Make Cleveland a destination team off of vibes alone. Sound familiar? It's exactly the kind of dysfunction Jerry Jones thrives on. He sees the cracks. He smells the chaos. And he's ready to swoop in like a hawk with a checkbook. But here's where things get really spicy. Shedeur isn't pushing back. By all accounts, he's staying quiet, staying professional, but not shutting it down. Sources say he's privately intrigued, which in football speak is basically he's already picking out apartments in Dallas. And who else is lurking just outside frame? That's right, Coach Prime himself. Deion Sanders has kept his distance publicly, but come on, you know he's in the mix. This isn't some overprotective dad throwing tantrums in the press. This is a strategist who's been playing the long game since Shedeur threw his first touchdown. If Jerry wants Shedeur, you can bet Deion's phone is already on silent mode for everyone but Dallas area codes. This is bigger than just a team switch. This is a generational power play, a potential reshaping of the NFC, a move so audacious, so insane, that only Jerry Jones would have the ego and the capital to pull it off. And let's talk about that capital, shall we? Because this isn't just about football IQ or locker room leadership. This is about marketability, about reach, about the Shedeur brand. The man is already pulling in 9 figures in projected merch and endorsement value. And that's in Cleveland. Can you imagine what happens when he puts on the star? Let's not pretend this is just about winning games. For Jerry, it's legacy. He's 80-something years old. He doesn't have time to wait around for a maybe quarterback. He wants a face for the next decade. Someone who can light up AT&T Stadium and Times Square. Shedeur could be that guy. Young, charismatic, already famous. And if you think that doesn't matter in today's NFL, then congratulations. You've been living in 2005 because the league has changed. It's not just about rings anymore, it's about reach. And Shedeur is already a global brand. From TikTok to ESPN to billboards in Times Square, he's more than a quarterback. He's an asset. And Jerry Jones? He's building an empire. Of course, the NFL isn't exactly thrilled about how this is going down. Tampering? Yeah, probably. Maybe even definitely. But Jerry's not stupid. He's been dancing around league rules for decades. He knows how to keep his fingerprints off things until it's too late. And even if the league tries to step in, what are they going to do? Block a trade between 2 consenting teams? Penalize the Cowboys for being too ambitious? Please, this is the NFL. Money talks. And Jerry speaks fluent billion-dollar. Now let's talk fallout. If this deal goes through, it's not just Cleveland that implodes. It's the entire quarterback market. Suddenly, rookie deals are no longer just about potential. They're about packaging, media presence, merch viability. Teams will start drafting for a Q rating as much as for QBR. And if Jerry lands Shedeur, expect a full Cowboys brand overhaul. Expect limited edition collabs, primetime sideline cameos. Shedeur branded Nike gear in every NFL shop from Texas to Tokyo. And Dak? Sorry, man. He'll be the sacrificial lamb. Gone in a PR cycle. Moved in the offseason. Quiet press release. Maybe a thanks for everything graphic on social. But make no mistake. If Shedeur walks into that building, he becomes a story. Day 1. Minute 1. Legacy sealed. And that's the scariest part. For other teams. Anyway. Because if Jerry pulls this off, it sets a terrifying precedent. That a well-timed marketing blitz, paired with internal instability, can pry away even the most untouchable rookie. No one is safe. Not anymore. So buckle up, because this story, it's not going away. The wheels are already in motion. The whispers are turning into roars. And somewhere in a luxury suite above AT&T Stadium, Jerry Jones is probably swirling a glass of something expensive and grinning like a man who knows exactly how this ends. Shedeur in silver and blue? It sounds crazy. But then again, so did everything else Jerry ever pulled off. And here we are. Comment below. Is Jerry a genius or a madman? Would you trade the farm for Shedeur? Or is this just another Jerry Jones fever dream with too much heat and not enough sense? Either way, hit that subscribe button. Because whatever happens next, it's going to be pure chaos. You thought that was wild? We're just getting started. Because this isn't just a what if anymore. It's not some off-season fever dream cooked up by desperate sports talk shows. The tension? It's real. The conversations? Already happening. And the consequences? Oh, they could shake the league to its core. Let's be brutally honest for a second. This is Jerry Jones' final act. The man has lived and breathed the Dallas Cowboys for decades, and now he's staring down the last few pages of his NFL storybook. He doesn't just want another playoff berth. He wants a legacy move. He wants to go out in a blaze of billion-dollar brand warfare. And what better way to do that than snatching the most talked-about rookie in football out from under a disorganized, flailing franchise? It's the kind of move that only Jerry could attempt. And it's the kind of move that only Shedeur Sanders is worthy of. Now let's talk about Shedeur. Because this kid isn't your average prospect getting tossed around in trade rumors like a hot potato. No, he's a movement. He's a perfect storm of pedigree, poise, and presence. He's got Dion's aura. But instead of blinding you with flash, he focuses it. Laser sharp. Every interview. Every pass. Every stare down with the camera. He knows the audience is watching, and he plays to it like a pro. And that right there is what makes this whole thing so explosive. Jerry doesn't just want a new quarterback. He wants a star. Someone who can be the next face of the Cowboys, on the field, in commercials, on TikTok, on billboards, in whatever metaverse Nike is cooking up next. He wants someone who feels like Dallas. Big, flashy, iconic. Let's be real. Dak Prescott never really was that guy. Good quarterback? Sure. Pro Bowl caliber? At times. But the aura, the generational appeal, the he is the moment factor? Never fully there. And Jerry knows that, which is why the timing of this rumor isn't a coincidence. Dak's contract is nearing its inflection point. The Cowboys' playoff performances have been stuck in neutral. And Shedeur? He's sitting in Cleveland, surrounded by dysfunction, looking like a diamond on a desk full of paper clips. The opportunity window is open, and you know how Jerry operates when he sees daylight. He doesn't knock. He kicks the damn door off the hinges and walks in with a suitcase full of money and a grin that says, "Try and stop me." But Cleveland? They're not going down without a fight. Or at least they shouldn't. Because if they do let Shedeur walk, especially this early, it's not just a loss. It's an institutional collapse. It would expose everything the Browns have been trying to pretend isn't happening. The fractured coaching, the PR tug-of-war, the bizarre, almost schizophrenic decision-making from ownership. If Jerry can pluck away their most valuable asset in his rookie year, what does that say about the Browns as a franchise? You know what it says? That culture still eats talent for breakfast. But let's not let Cleveland off the hook here. They knew what they were getting when they drafted Shedeur. This wasn't some under-the-radar prospect. This was the most media-ready athlete in the class. His brand came pre-installed. If they weren't ready to build an entire infrastructure around that, then why draft him at all? Now they're scrambling to keep control. The coaching staff wants to develop him slowly, but ownership is hosting marketing calls with luxury brands and crypto sponsors. Front office execs are panicking over leaks. Stefanski is reportedly livid that football is taking a back seat to photo ops. And meanwhile, Shedeur is out here acting like the calmest man in the building. Because that's the other thing. He's not rattled. All this noise and not one misstep. No outbursts. No cryptic social media. No tabloid headlines. He's staying locked in, letting his game and his value do the talking. That's terrifying, because now he holds the cards. If Shedeur decides he wants to entertain this move, he's not just a player being traded. He's a leverage in the most high-profile front office chess match of the year. And don't think for a second that Dion isn't watching every piece of it unfold with the sharpest eyes in the league. You think Prime doesn't have an opinion on Shedeur being stuck in a franchise that can't even agree on what direction they're headed in? Please, Dion is direction. He's branding, leadership, and mission all in one package. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead. And if he sees Dallas as the better platform for Shedeur to thrive on the field and off it, you best believe he's picking up the phone. And Jerry's answering on the first ring. Now here's where it gets even messier. If this trade actually happens, it blows open Pandora's box for every other franchise. It means you can no longer rely on rookie contracts to keep your stars locked down. It means young players with massive commercial appeal could become targets, assets that other teams will build entire war chests to acquire. It means your first-round QB might be halfway out the door the second he signs if your team can't get together organizationally. And let's not ignore the league office in all of this. The NFL hates this kind of disruption. They love player empowerment when it sells jerseys. But the second it challenges the system, that's when they get nervous. Because Jerry's not just bending the rules. He's redefining them. He's conducting this whole operation under the radar, probably using enough legal gray area to write an entire law school exam. Secret calls. Agents that aren't technically representing the team. Third-party marketing firms having informal conversations. This is a tampering Picasso, and Goodell's office is sweating through their suits trying to figure out how to stop it without creating an even bigger media circus. But guess what? The circus is already here, and everyone's watching. The media, the fans, the brands, the world. Everyone's eyes are on Jerry, on Shedeur, on the Cowboys, on the Browns. And the question hanging in the air like a Hail Mary spiral is simple. Will he do it? Will Jerry actually break the league wide open and pull off the biggest quarterback coup in recent history? Or will this just be another tantalizing saga in a league increasingly driven by drama, branding, and billion-dollar power plays? One thing's for sure, Shedeur Sanders is not just a quarterback. He's a symbol of where this league is headed. And Jerry Jones, he's not going to watch the future from the sidelines. He's going to buy it. So get ready, because if the deal goes down and that star logo hits Shedeur's chest, you're not just witnessing a trade. You're witnessing a cultural reset in the NFL. Oh, so you're still with me? Good, because we haven't even cracked the wildest parts of this yet. Let's talk about why this entire situation feels like the NFL just slammed the panic button under its mahogany conference table. Because if this deal happens, if Jerry Jones actually pries Shedeur Sanders out of Cleveland, this isn't just a spicy offseason move. This is the end of how the NFL has done business for decades. Shedeur isn't just a player with potential. He's the prototype for the postmodern quarterback. He doesn't wait to be marketed. He markets himself. He doesn't need a league campaign. He is the campaign. He's built his brand before even hitting NFL prime time, and that makes him more than valuable. It makes him disruptive. See, the NFL is used to a specific kind of player trajectory. First, you prove yourself on the field. Then you get your endorsement deals. Then maybe, your jersey starts outselling the team mascot. But Shedeur, he flipped the script. His name recognition preceded his draft. His NIL deals were pulling in 7 figures before his rookie jersey was even printed. And now, with his name already more culturally relevant than half the league's veteran starters, Jerry Jones wants to make the biggest brand in the league bigger by turning the Cowboys into a literal influence factory. That's what this really is. Not a trade, not a roster move. It's a hostile rebranding of an entire franchise. And Jerry's not even being shy about it. Sources say he's been pitching this internally as the Star System 2.0, a new era where the Cowboys don't just have star players. They create them. They own them. They turn every press conference, every post-game fit, every locker room might drop into part of the Cowboys cinematic universe. And who better to launch that than Shedeur? He's got it all. The looks, the lineage, the timing, the swagger, the discipline, and let's be honest, the power. Because the second he walks into that locker room, he doesn't just inherit the huddle. He inherits the spotlight, the media glare, the pressure cooker, the 24/7 scrutiny machine. That is Dallas. But here's the thing. He's built for that. This isn't some wide-eyed rookie, hoping not to screw up in his first national broadcast. This is a guy who grew up around cameras, pressure, expectations, who's been stepping over criticism since his high school highlights hit YouTube, who's been coached by a Hall of Famer since birth. If there's anyone who could walk into AT&T Stadium and own it, it's him. And you know who knows that? Dak Prescott. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the elephant in the quarterback room. Because whether Jerry pulls the trigger or not, the mere existence of these talks has already created a chilling effect inside the Cowboys facility. Every press conference from here on out, every interception, every off game from Dak, you know what they'll be whispering. Shedeur would have made that throw. It's brutal, and it's unfair, but it's also how this league works now. Branding and performance are no longer 2 separate columns. They've merged, and if your marketing impact doesn't match your stat line, there's a Shedeur waiting in the wings who can outshine you before halftime. That's not just pressure. That's job death by PR. And poor Cleveland, man, they're trying to hold it together. But the seams are splitting. Reports of arguments between the coaching staff and the front office are already leaking. Stefanski's allegedly fuming about external distractions. There's buzz that some execs wanted to push Shedeur harder earlier in the season, while others tried to shield him. And in the middle of all this tug-of-war is a 21-year-old QB who's more composed than anyone in the building. You know what that tells me? He's ready to go. Like, go. And Jerry? He smells that. He knows exactly what kind of energy that is. That get me to a team that knows what to do with me. Energy. That I was built for this, not buried under it. Vibe. Let's also not pretend this isn't a calculated marketing move by Jerry to own the future of the league, because that's what Shedeur is. He's not just the next Dak or the next Mahomes. He's the next model of how quarterbacks will be evaluated. It's not just how you throw, it's how you trend. It's not just how you lead, it's how you leverage. It's not just about reading defenses. It's about reading the moment and turning it into a personal brand touchpoint. And Shedeur already gets that. But we're not done. Let's fast forward. Say the trade goes through. Say the Cowboys give up their draft future, a Pro Bowl defender, and an absurd haul of picks to make this happen. Let's say Shedeur puts on that navy and silver and walks out to the roar of 90,000 fans at Jerry World. What happens next? The league implodes. Every struggling franchise with a high-profile rookie starts looking over their shoulder. Marketing teams begin demanding say in draft war rooms. Quarterbacks become not just players, but investments with brand decks and monetization strategies baked into their scouting reports. You think it's dramatic now? This deal would shift the tectonic plates of NFL strategy forever. Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. The Shedeur-Sanders trade, if it happens, is not just about football. It's about franchise architecture, about power, about image control, about who really runs the show in this new NFL landscape. And you can bet your Sunday tickets that other team owners are already foaming at the mouth, either to match Jerry's boldness or to take him down for it. But Jerry, he's not flinching. He knows this could be his final masterpiece, his last great headline, his curtain call, the moment where he doesn't just win a press conference. He wins history. And Shedeur, he might just be the perfect co-star. So what do you think? Would you go all in? Should the Browns fight tooth and nail to keep the face of their franchise? Or are they already losing him in slow motion? Should Jerry back off? Or is this the most Jerry Jones move ever? Drop your thoughts. Debate it in the comments. Because this isn't just a rumor anymore. This is a reckoning. And we're all just watching the opening act.